Hi everyone, back for another fun tutorial, and I've kind of been working on some slim bracelets because I'm a big fan of slim. I'm not a huge fan of those big wide bracelets like some people are, and some of them out there are really beautiful, but I personally, because I have no wrist really, I just have a fat arm. The cuff bracelets don't sit right on me, so that's all muscle right here, by the way. See? Muscle. Anyways, this is today's tutorial on doing the scalloped edge bracelet. It does use Tila beads, surprisingly. I'm using a Tila bead. I am using a cut button, which I absolutely love this cut button with this herringbone finish. I've been making a lot of bracelets with just this just these cut buttons and this particular finish. I haven't even used a toggle clasp for a while, so it's up to you. You can use a toggle closure, or you can use a cut button, you can use a flower button, you can use whatever kind of pretty buttons that you got. So for today's project, I'm going to use these turquoise color with white, and in this project I used Tri Beads. These are those little they're triangular shape, and they have one hole in them, and they're really thin beads, and they are as thin as an O bead. So today I'm going to show you how to do it with an O bead instead of the triangular beads, and it'll just give it a little wee bit different of a look. So I'm going to show you it so you know that you could make it with O beads if you don't have triangular beads. And actually I only have one color of triangular, and this color here would not go with these colors, so I'm going to try it with O beads, and it's going to be an experiment for us both. Alright, so you will need some Tila beads, and I'm using a white luster Tila bead. I'm using an O bead, and this is hematite color, and I lost my 11-0s, which are right here, and I'm using an 11-0 in a hematite, and this is a Toho hematite. I am using, you will need 3 and 4 millimeter Czech Firepolish. So I'm using a light medium aqua and a jade aqua, whatever this color is, an opaque aqua color. So they're kind of matching. And I'm using a cut button. And for this project I used purple Nymo thread, so I'm going to use Nymo thread in white in this project. And I'm using a size 10 beading needle and a pair of scissors. So gather all your materials and I'll meet you back here. And I'm going to just cut a comfortable length of Nymo so I don't get 10,000 knots, and I'll probably have to add some beads or some thread as I go. So I'll be back. Okay, so on your needle you're going to string a stop bead. I'm just using 11-0 seed bead. So any seed bead or any kind of 8-0, 7-0, 8-6-0, 5-0, 4-0, 3-0. I am leaving a little bit of a tail, probably enough to weave my thread in. So, and all I'm going to do is run my needle through this stop bead twice. So there's once, and there's twice. Alright, so we have this, and I left kind of a really long tail. Oops, I forgot to dump my beads. Okay, we will need some O beads. Definitely going to need some 11-0s. Going to need our Tila beads. 4 millimeters. And some 3 millimeters. These are a really pretty color, this light medium aqua. So on your needle you're going to pick up one Tila bead. So go through only one hole of your Tila bead, like so. Then you're going to pick up one O bead, one 3 millimeter, and one O bead, a Tila bead, Then you're going to pick up one 11-0 a Tila bead, an O bead, a 3mm, and an O bead. And you're going to repeat this pattern all the way down to your bracelet. So you're just going to let these drop. So now that I've put in on my O bead, my 3mm, my O bead, now I'm going to pick up a Tila bead, and then I'm going to pick up an 11-0, then I'm going to pick up a Tila bead, an O bead, a 3mm, an O bead, a Tila bead. Let those go all the way down to the bottom. So now you're going to do this all the way through the length of your bracelet, just repeating this pattern, making sure you end in you end with an 11-0 and then your Tila bead. So just continue doing this all the way down. So put all your beads on, ending with the 11-0, and then end with that Tila bead. But make sure you leave room to add your closure. So it's all depending on what you use for a closure. Like I said, I'm using my cut button here, which is in crystal, with a crystal Labrador, I believe this is. The silver finish on the back of it. Make sure you leave enough room to put your closure on, and you don't make this bracelet super big. So now I've completed this here, and I put on a Tila bead. I'm going to pick up an 11-0 and a Tila bead, and I'm just going to repeat this pattern all the way down the length of the bracelet, ending with the 11-0 and the last Tila bead. So this is how your bracelet should look for your end. You start with this and you end with an 11-0, and you'll see why. Well, let me show you why. As you can see, this bracelet zigzags, so it goes like this. So over here I ended with an 11-0, and here I ended with, okay, actually I ended with 11-0 in 2 spots. So the bracelet's both aiming this way, so it's pointing downward. You don't want that. You want to end it this way. So one end's here and one end's facing that way. So make sure you end it like this. So I'm going to do my length. I'm not going to need to add any extra to this, because this will fit whatever length you make it. This will fit it. Okay, so I'll be back when I get enough length on here, and try to end with the 11-0 and the Tila bead, and I'll be back. Okay, so now before we continue on, make sure you lay your pattern out like this and check to make sure you didn't add any extra seed beads in here like I did on my previous bracelet. I got all the way down here and realized I added a seed bead after I added this tri bead in here. So make sure that's what your pattern's proper. So now you have them all strung on one side of your Tila beads. Now you're going to pick your bracelet up, and you're going to pick up 2 11-0s on your needle, and then you're just going to go drop down into the next Tila bead in the hole of your first Tila bead, sorry. The one you're exiting, just go into the next hole, like so, and placing those 2 Tila beads on top. Okay. Now, on this side here, you put just an 11-0. So now in this area here, we're going to pick up an O bead, a 3mm, and an O bead, and we're going to go right into our next Tila bead. Like so. So this is what you should have. So you've exited out of here, and on this side here, so flip all your Tilas if you want to make it easier. On this side here, we're just going to add an O bead, or a seed bead. So pick up 1 seed bead and exit through the next Tila bead. And you got to kind of pull your work nice and tight so everything zigzags for you like that. All right, and in here, because we've added a seed bead, we need to pick up the sequence of an O bead, a 3mm, and an O bead. And then we're just going to exit into the next Tila bead, but you're always going into the other hole of your Tila bead that you have not gone in already. So make sure that's what you're exiting through that. Oh, lovely. See what I did here? I went through my Nymo thread, snagged it somehow. So I'm going to come back out of the Tila. See if I can fix this without snapping the thread. There we go. And exit through the Tila. Okay, so this is what we have so far. You got to pull your work nice and tight. You've got your stop bead on, so you're okay there. Now you're going to pick up another 11/0, because this is where you've already got your 3 sequined beads, and you're just going to go into the next hole of that next Tila bead and pull that tight. Pick up an O bead, a 3mm, and an O bead, because we just have a seed bead here and we want to add our next sequence. This is what's going to give you the zigzag pattern. Like so. Oopsies. There we go. Okay. So this is what you're going to continue to do all the way down till you get to the end of your bracelet. And when I get done here, my end here, to get to the end, I'll come back and show you what we did next. This is a really pretty bracelet like this, if you want to just leave it like this and don't embellish it. But I just found that to be a little too boring. But it is really cute if you wanted to leave it like this. I'm dressing mine up to look like this, so where you can barely even see the Tila beads, but you can see them on the back. You just can't see them on the top. So if you want to embellish it, come back and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I'm at the end now, and as you can see, this is a really pretty bracelet, just like this on its own. But again, I told you I'm going to show you how to embellish it, so that's basically what we're going to do. Now for this end piece, what you're going to do is take off your stop bead. You're going to have to hold your tail, and you're going to pick up 2 11/0s, and you're just going to drop back down into just the Tila bead. Oops. Just 2 11/0s, guys, not 3. And you're going to go back down into the Tila, and this is where I'm going to sew on my closure, my cup button. Alright, keep this tight, and then keeping your work pulled tight, go back up the next hole and into the 1 11/0. That's right above where the hole is that you're exiting out of your Tila bead here. Keeping your work pulled nice and tight. So now I'm exiting out of the, and I'm keeping my work tight. I'm exiting out of the 11/0. I'm going to pick up 1 11/0. Actually, I'm going to pick up 2 more 11/0s, and I'm going to go back down into just that 1 11/0, and I'm just going to do 1 revolution of herringbone. So you're going to go down 1, and then you're going to go up these 2 beads, so you're exiting in the first bead, or the last bead you put on there. So you're at the top of your work, and I'm pulling my work nice and tight. Now what you're going to do is pick up one end, put your needle through one of your holes on your cup button. You're going to pick up an 11/0, and I'm picking up a 3mm fire polish in 11/0, and I'm going to go back down the other side of my cut button like that and bring it down to there. Now I'm going to exit into the 11/0s on the other side. I'm exiting here, so I need to go down the other side, and I'm going to go through the Tila bead, and I'm going to go back and forth and reinforce this a couple of times. Okay. Now, so all you do is go back up into the next hole and just go right through all your beads again, including your cut button. And I twisted it, so I'm going to go into the right hole. And I don't want to pull it too tight because I want to get through all 3 of these beads. On the top of the cut button, go back down and go all the way down through all these beads again. Pulling nice and tight. Okay. Now you can reinforce this again, but you will have to do it this way. Go up through those 2 and try to catch the 11/0 as well in the top of your cut button. It's good to reinforce it 3 times with Nymo thread for sure. Go through your fire polish and then go back down through the 11/0, the cut button, and just these 2 beads. So you're exiting right where your tail is, because now we're going to tie that tail off. We're going to tie it into some knots. So I'm going to do a surgeon's knot, which is wrap it twice. Try not to wrap that around your cut button. So, oops, I pulled that really tight, so it's good and snug. And I'm going to tie again. And you can also glue your knot if you want, but I'm not going to glue it. I'm just going to go through it like that, or tie it like that. And then I'm going to go exit down through the Tila bead. Hopefully. And I'm going to pull that knot inside. Hopefully. Yep. And now we can cut this tail off. And that tail is out of your face. Okay, so for this here, you want to go through your O bead, your 3mm and your O bead, if you're exiting on this side. If you're exiting over here, you still want to be exiting out of your O bead. So I'm exiting here. Okay, I'm on this side of my bracelet because this is where I ended up finishing. So I'm going to pick up 3 11/0s, 1 4mm fire polish, and 3 11/0s. And I'm going to go straight across and exit through all 3 of these beads as in here. And then I'm going to pull. And for some reason, this 3 beads in here is too much. So, 3 beads was just perfect in here. I used 3 11/0s in here, and 3 seems to be too much in there. Yeah. Well, we're just going to have to do it with 3. It may be... Yeah, because these are coming out of the Tri beads. These 3 beads. Okay. Well, I'm going to do it with 3 beads. Seems a bit bulky to me, but anyway, just pick up 3 11/0s, 4mm, 3 11/0, exit into the next 3 beads. So that would be your O bead or tri bead, whatever you're using, your 3mm and your tri bead, or an O bead, whatever you're using, and just place those in there. These will eventually be pulled in and sitting on your bracelet like so. You'll see. I just don't remember it bulking up like this, sticking up that much, but it may have very well done that. So 3 11/0 and 3mm, 3 11/0, and I'm exiting out of my O bead. I'm going to go across into all 3 of these beads, and I'm just going to continue that all the way down, all the way around my bracelet, doing this. Okay. Wow, some of these beads look huge. And across. When we get to the other end, we're going to sew our well, got a knot there. We're going to sew our other half of our closure on. Wow, that's a wicked knot. Can't even pull it out. Holy smokes. Why would that have knotted in the middle of nothing? Looks like thread twisted, wrapped around it. Oh, I love knots. Very good, Ruby. Okay, I'll take that out and come back. Okay, so continuing on till you get to the end of this row, picking up your 3 11/0 and 3mm and 3 11/0 and putting them between your zigzag spaces. So I'm picking up 3 11/0 and I'm just going across into the next 3 beads. So that would be your O bead, your fire polish, your 3mm one, and your O bead. So I'm basically showing you how this is going to sit on top as well. So this is how your 4mm are going to sit on your bracelet when we get those sewed in, and it's really quick and simple to sew those in. So I'm going to finish this, get to the end here, and I'll come back and show you how to sew the other part of your closure on. Okay, so I'm at the end here where I need to put my last group on like this. So I'm going to pick up my 3 11/0 like I would, my 4mm fire polish, and 3 11/0. Now you have no bead to go into here, but all you're going to do is just exit downward into your Tila bead like so. Or actually, it might be easier just to go into this 11/0, because then we'll just continue doing the other side. When we get finished here, we'll continue doing putting them on in this space here. But first of all, let's get the other part of our closure on. And what I did over here is you need to kind of measure how long you have to make your herringbone stitch, like I did in here. So this part here is where you're going to make the length to lengthen or shorten your closure here. I'm probably going to have to make mine really long to fit my wrist because this is very small. So I'm just going to leave it small and give it to someone else. So I'm exiting out of this 11/0 on the end bead, and I'm just going to drop down into the first bead, picking up 2 seed beads because I'm going to do herringbone stitch, and I'm just going to place these 2 on top. You're going to come back up through the bottom. So you go down 1 bead, you're going to go back up 2. So you're going to go through those 2 beads, the one from your previous group of 2, and you're going to go into one of the new ones you put on top. You kind of have to get it stable here like that. Okay, so it should look like this. Pick up 2 more. Cross to the next one, go into the next one, down into 1 bead, sit those on top, and now you're going to go up 2. So you're going to go up this one and your new one. And I'm kind of snagged around here, so there, and pull this nice and tight like that. Pick up 2 more. I really like this herringbone finish, it's gorgeous. Drop down into your next bead. Come over and go up 2. So you're going up to the top bead and exiting out of that one. Pick up 2 more. So just keep doing this for the length that you need to add, and saving yourself about a 1/2 inch to put this part on here, this round area, to go over top of your cut button. So this is where your cut button fits in, like that. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing this for a few more. And I'm just doing a simple herringbone stitch. And this will tighten up because we will be going through these a couple more times. So down 1. I always flip my work around, makes it easier being right-handed. And up 2. Pick up 2. Go down 1 bead, and now I'm going to go up 2. So this one came loose. I just pull the 2 beads I put on, tighten that back up, try to sit these on top, and then you're just going to go up 2 like that. And I need some more. Down 1. And I keep flipping it, like I said, because I'm right-handed and I just find it easier than try to go up 2 beads on the left side of me. So let me kind of try this on, see if it's going to fit anywhere near my wrist size, and absolutely not. I'll just keep doing this. I really, really, really like this herringbone stitch. You're welcome to do whatever way you want in here. If you don't care for herringbone, not everybody likes herringbone stitch, so you're welcome to put some beads in there to extend it. You can do whatever you want, make it your own bracelet. Heck, you can even take some airplane wings and put them in there. A little bit more. I kind of like these colors, so I'm going to make this for myself. I'm greedy. I don't have enough bracelets. I have about, I don't know, 200 bracelets. I bet you I only wore them once. Some of them I didn't wear at all. Yeah. I'm selfish. Unless I know I'm making something for somebody, then I'll definitely not make it this size. But I don't usually sell my jewelry because nobody will buy it. Not around here anyway. Everybody's cheap. They're all cheapskates. Like, I would charge about, I don't know, 20 bucks for this bracelet. Well, this is never going to fit me, so I'm not even going to try. I give up. I'll be here forever putting on herringbone on all this muscle on my wrist. Tiki. Tiki's being a good parent, and so is Miku. They're actually being very quiet today. Usually Miku's trying to get over here and step all over my beads. So, okay, I'm going to finish this off camera because I'm wasting camera here, and I'll be back. Okay, now that I made this super duper long herringbone stitch, we're going to add our beads for our button. So I'm going to pick up 22. Alright, I have 22 here, so I'm just going to fold this over and see if my cup button's going to fit in here comfortably. And no, so I'm going to put 24 on. Now you're exiting out of one side of your herringbone, right? You're just going to go all the way down through all these beads to tighten all of this up. And go through the Tila bead as well when you finish going through all those. So exit through all these beads, including the Tila, and then cross over and go back up through the Tila bead on the other side of the Tila, and then go back up through every single bead and make a circle again. So you just want to reinforce this loop you just made. And your herringbone. And of course you're not going to be able to do all this in one pass. So I'm just going around here again, going through the loop, down, all the way back down. I'm going to go through all this herringbone again, and if I can snag my Tila bead, I will go through my Tila bead. And I did it. So I'm just checking to make sure I didn't miss anywhere. And pull. So this is nice and tight. Now I'm going to go up through it one more time, because I like my stuff reinforced 3 times. It just adds a lot of life to your closures where they take the most wear and tear on bracelets. So that's why I really like to have lots of reinforcing done. If you don't get a knot, like I just got. Okay, so I'm halfway through my bead. So this will be 3 times. I've gone through all these beads, which is plenty. And now when you exit out of your Tila bead, should be on the right side that you need to be to go down and finish embellishing the other side of your bracelet. And I'm exiting out of the Tila bead. Pull this nice and tight. Actually, I should make sure my cup button fits in that. And it does. Whoops, I put it on upside down, sorry. Okay, so now you're going to exit through the O bead, the 3mm and the O bead, and you're just going to continue going all the way down, adding your 3/11-ohs, your 4mm fire polish, and 3/11-ohs. And then you're just going to exit into this next group of beads, like so. Alright, so just continue to do this all the way down. When we come back, I will definitely show you how to finish tacking down the very top of your bracelet here. Okay, I'll be back. Finish this side, do exactly what you did here, do over there, and I'll be back. Okay, so we are at the end of our bracelet where we have already put our closure on. And we did over here, we went up through this bead on this side, we went up through that bead. So we're going to just repeat that and go across up into the first bead above your Tila bead. So it could be a bit tricky to get in there, but I'm sure we can do it. Yep, I could see a space there. She's giving me a hard time. There we go. And we got in there. Actually, I went through 2 beads, but that's okay. Because now I'm just going to cross over. Oh boy, no I'm not. I'm going to go right up into the cup button. Go through all my beads again, because I need to exit down here in there, out of that bead there. Okay, so now to finish this off here, pick up 3 of your 11-ohs and exit through just the O bead and the 3mm fire polish over here. So sit those 3 11-ohs on top to finish it off. Now in my other bracelet I put, oh sorry, you need to go through the O bead as well, I believe. Let me just check. Let me see what I did here. I believe I only went through the fire polish. Yes, I did. So you're going to pick up, I don't know if it's going to work with this because it seems really bulky in here for some reason. God only knows why, because I probably changed from a tri bead to an O bead. But pick up an 11-oh anyway and let's see how this works. Go through the fire polish, the 4mm, pull that nice and tight. Pick up another 11-oh and go through the fire polish, and now you're going to go through all your beads. So you're going to go through these 3 here where you put your embellishment on. So squish this bead inside, and it may push this bead out, it may not. Yeah, it's pushing it out. It's not going to sit nicely in there because it's bunched up with too many beads. So I'm just wondering if we could just get away with that, not adding any beads in here. So I'm going to pull these out and check what it's going to be like with no seed beads in the middle. Okay. So what I'm saying is just go across, go into the fire polish without adding any beads, and back through the fire polish. And now exit through all these beads again, pulling it nice and tight in there. So you can kind of still see a thread, which I really don't like. See how it's showing threads? So let me see what else we can do here. I'm not really designing this bracelet, but like I said, I never used the O beads, so the O beads are making a bit of a difference. So it's just kind of like trial and error kind of thing. So just doing this, threading my needle again. Oops. Alright, now I'm going to exit through the O bead as well. Okay? And now I'm going to add a seed bead in here and see if it works with exiting out of this O bead, going into the fire polish. Pick up an 11-0 and go through the O bead, the fire polish, and the O bead on the other side. So we're just adding a seed bead to hide our threads on the top, like that. Okay, so that will work. Still seems a bit bulky here, but that's because we set those beads on top. So now you're just going to work your way through these three and exit out of the fire polish. You're just going to do this all the way down the bracelet. You don't have to go all the way back up again. So pick up an 11-0, and then now you're going to go through the O bead, the 3mm and the O bead, and nothing else. Okay, and pull your seed bead in there, like so, and pick up another 11-0, and then exit through your fire polish, and then try to go through all the next group of beads and pull that seed bead in there like that. So it's kind of like a twisty, it's kind of twisty, like this bracelet's not perfectly flat and straight. Okay, so pick up an 11-0, and now you're going to go across and go into your fire polish. Pick up an 11-0 and exit through the O bead, the 3mm and the O bead, and place that bead there, and that's what you should have. Now I'm going to exit through the 3 11-0s and just the fire polish and pull this nice and tight. And as you can see, it's kind of working out here. It's really pretty. And you can still kind of see your Tila beads underneath. It's a really pretty bracelet. You don't have to embellish it like this. Like I said, you can just leave it, nothing on top. I am going to pick up an 11-0, and now I'm going through the O bead, the 3mm, the O bead, because I'm exiting out of this fire polish, and I'm placing this seed bead here. I want it to be on top. There we go. And pull that in tight. Pick up an 11-0, and now you're going to come across. You're just making a circle around your fire polishes, but you're including the O beads in this one as well. So as you can see now, I need to go through these 3 beads here. And I believe this bead got snagged, this thread got snagged around that bead. So be careful not to do that. So now I need to go through these 3. The O bead, the 3mm and the O bead, like this. So I'm exiting out of here and pull. Pick up an 11-0, go across and catch just your fire polish. Oops, I've got 2 11-0s. You ever done that? go to pick up an 11-0 and you pick up 2 and 3 of them. So I'm just going across into my fire polish and snagging everything on the way, like I always do. In fact, I have the whole entire bracelet snagged in there. Alright. There we go. So now we're going to pull that nice and tight. And now we need to get an 11-0 to sit inside of there. And we're going to go across and exit through the O bead, the 3mm, and the O bead only. Or well, you can go across into these 3 beads and your fire polish to begin your next wrap. And pull that tight. And I have Nymo thread that's fraying. Beautiful. Garbage stuff, man. But anyway, that's really fraying. So this is all you're going to do to finish embellishing the top of your bracelet. It is actually really, really pretty. I really, really like this. But like I said, you don't have to do this. You can, it kind of pulls your fire polish up into the middle where your 3mm are sitting on the edge of your zigzag. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really, really pretty like that. So I'm going to finish embellishing the top of my bracelet, and I will be back to show you what to do next. Okay? Okay, so I'm at the end of my bracelet now, and I've finished putting my last seed beads on, and I've noticed this one to be a little bit more bulkier between the fire polish than this one, as they just all laid flat here. And the reason for this is because the O beads made a huge difference. So as you can see, there's the difference in the 2 bracelets with using O beads and Tri beads. Your scallops kind of changed up a bit here, as these have little tiny points on from your triangle beads. Anyways, I'm at my last bead here, and I'm going to go up into these 3 beads that I have previously put on. And I'm actually going to go up some of my herringbone, like so. I'm going to go up maybe 3 beads here. And I'm going to go across and go down, exit out of the herringbone just before, or the bead just before the Tila bead. So I'm exiting right here. Okay. Now I'm going to pick up 3 beads. I'm just going to exit into the O bead, the fire polish, and the O bead. And now I'm just going to go, so I'm sitting these ones on top to finish off the bracelet. So I'm going to go through some beads now, and I'm going to start tying off my bracelet. So I just want to get through this O bead here. So I'm going to go through these 3 beads on top. Just before that fire polish. And I'm going to tie some half hitch knots between the fire polish and the seed bead. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and pull. And then I'm just going to pull that inside.
You think they're done yet?
And then I'm going to go through some more beads here.
I think they're ready.
So I'm going through a bunch of beads, and then I'm going to tie off again. And I'm just going to tie off between my O bead and my fire polish. And I just pulled my needle off. And as you can see, I never had to add any thread. So this is the last of the thread that I made this bracelet with. So I used about 2 big arm spans of Nymo thread. So twice around the loop, My needle's going to pull off again. So I'm going to go through the O bead, through these seed beads just before the fire polish, and pull that inside. And let's do another half hitch knot. Sorry, I got stains on me from cutting up carrots for the bird. And there. And through some more beads. So that's about it for tying off half hitch knots. And this is what your bracelet's going to look like. So let me cut this off. Alright. And there's your finished piece. Now, like I said, you can play with this top embellishment part, and you can add maybe 2 seed beads instead of 3 seed beads in here, and you'll get this very same look that I got here. I don't know if it's because these seed beads, these Toho seed beads, they look really huge. They look way bigger than these galvanized seed beads. So maybe you might want to just stick with a Czech bead in there and you'll get this same finish as this, but I like them both. They both turned out really, really nice. Really, really cute. And that's it for this tutorial, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial and you learned something and you have fun making this bracelet and kind of make it your own. Dress it up, do what you want with it. This is kind of a ridiculously long closure, but oh well. It should fit me. I never even tried it on, but yeah, it does. And it does up easy, so there it is. I really, really like it. It's really pretty. So you can actually wear a bunch of these if you want. Have a multicolored bracelets. So there's the 2 of them. And they're both different beads. So when you use different beads, you're going to always get a different finish, a different effect. So that's what you can see. I did it right in front of you guys and showed you how you can adjust the beads in here. Or make it like this. These are silver galvanized. So if you want to try galvanized silver, and those are Toho galvanized, or these are Miyuki galvanized silver beads. So anyways, have fun, guys. I'm about to do another tutorial, so I'll see you soon on the next tutorial. Bye-bye.